Hi, it's Paulie here. Just thought I'd repeat a real family story. It was in one of my very first videos, but you may not have dug back that far. So, as my mother got older, she got very, very interested in genealogy, as many do. And I mean, she took it really seriously. So she's out there, she's getting actual birth certificates and the actual death certificates of everyone from every single branching family, and she's researching all the out branches, and she's getting photographs of, homes and photographs of grave sites and, the whole thing. Beautiful research. But turns out my great-grandfather, or is he my great-great-grandfather, Alexander Kidd, he was a fairly famous artist in Western Australia. Back in the 1890s through kind of early 1900s. So my mum's chuffed. Famous artist in the family. So she heads up into the goldfields where this guy operated. And he'd come from Aberdeen, and they knew something about him. So she went up because she found that some of the murals and paintings that this guy had done are still in many of the pubs up there. So off she went up to the north, and she got into Boulder and so on. And when she went into the pubs and so on and asked about it, some old ladies absolutely lit up. Said, "Sorry, who are you after? Who are you asking after?" Said, "Oh, well, we're relatives of Alexander Hunter Kidd. And, we've been told that he has artwork and so on still surviving here." And they were overjoyed. Said, "Oh, you're relatives of the inseminating Scottsman." It turned out this guy was famous local history, local legend. This guy was an artist, all right, very good one. But what he would do is there was a gold rush on, and so what this guy would do is he would get into a town, and he would do painting for pubs. He would paint them murals. He would do them signs on the outside. He would do them paintings to hang behind the bar, this sort of thing. And no one had much money because there was also a massive recession, depression on. But they'd kind of pay him in kind. He would get drinking rights at the pub, kind of sort of permanently, as long as he didn't overstay his welcome for too long at any given time. So he's got about 2 weeks of hanging around, being able to drink at the pub and kind of just, eat bar food. But what this guy would do is, when he came into town, this Scotsman on a bicycle would ride the streets. And most of the menfolk were off working in the mines, and they'd disappear for like 6 months at a time. So if the women wanted a bit, the signal was you would flop your white apron over the garden gate. And so this Scotsman on a bike would see this, and he'd veer in, and that's where he stays for the 2 weeks while he's in town. And then when he's kind of 2 weeks up and he's kind of worn his welcome out and everything at the pub, he would hitch a ride with, either a camel train or one of the, few small little locomotive services running around, and he would just move on to the next town, and he just lived this nomadic existence. And so these old ladies look at my mum and say, "Yeah, you've got a few hundred relatives out this way that you didn't know anything about." Because this guy apparently just left an ocean of bastards behind him all through Australia's northwest. And of course my mum's this sort of church woman, and she's completely scandalised. Oh, she can't put this in the book, because she was writing this whole book about the family and everything. Of course I was telling her, "This is brilliant, this is wonderful, this is Australian law, this is the truth, this is what you were looking for." And of course she decides she's going to, she'll write it up, but she'll just give me a copy of that research and her a copy of that research and a couple of the relatives that actually had a sense of humour, and the version of this book that she was writing that actually goes into the National Archives and the state library. They will have this edited out. It'll just have photos of these famous paintings that he's done or whatever. So anyway, the inseminating Scotsman, what a legend. Apparently he would come down to family meets with the rest of the family. They were so scandalized by him, he wasn't allowed in the houses. So he would turn up for Christmas dinner or something, and they would serve him Christmas dinner in the garden shed. And he's got to sleep out in the garden shed because they're so scandalised by him. He's not allowed in the house. But, oh, God, what a hero. I wish I'd met him. I would have liked to shake that guy's hand. Anyway, the inseminating Scotsman. Tales from ancient Australia. Cheers.